Hello, trading is closed on June 27th, 2017. As usual, let's go over my calls. I thought the most common thing would be a gap outside of yesterday's range, which we got. We had a target that was pretty close. I thought it was unlikely to print, and it didn't. I said the ideal situation would be an early high, a middle of the day high, which was at the lower level, and then dropping off into the close. We had some date targets. We had June the 19th. The actual date was June 17th, but that's a Saturday, and June the 19th was the closest. The other was June 26th, and that was here, so those seem to work too. Next dates I have are July 17th and the 19th. We have some new MEJT targets. I think they're likely to fail. This one failed. We'll add it to the list. This is an ultimate target. It ultimately should print. This one's most likely to print tomorrow. This is an environment where I wouldn't put too much faith in higher targets, particularly when MEJT almost always leaves a target, a failed target behind at a major change in trend. Now there is a chance for a bounce tomorrow. We have a wall of selling into the close. We have a Hobson close right at the low of the day. Often this indicates panic selling by the amateur, so there could be a bounce. But when you get panic selling at the end of a long decline, it usually marks the end. When you get panic selling at the beginning of a drop, just a few days after hitting an all-time high, it's just as likely to be the real thing and keep on dropping. Well, here's what I'm calling the long-term picture. We have 1, 2, 3, A and B. I think B is completed. I know a lot of people are calling this wave 4 and that wave 5. I don't want to get into a long discussion. If somebody can count it as wave 5, that's fine by me. The main argument was this doesn't look like any B wave anyone's ever seen. I must confess I'm not familiar with that rule. Here's the typical count that's on the web. The rule I'm familiar with says that this wave 1 and this wave 3 should be divisible into 5 subwaves. Here's wave 3 of 3. The rule I learned says that the third wave can't be the smallest of these 5, but in this count it is. And if this count is no good, how can you count this move as anything but a 3-wave move? And let's come back to this wave 1. The rule I learned said it should be a 5-wave structure. Well, where's the third wave? This is easy to count as 3s, ABC, ABC, ABC. It's a clear 3-wave pattern. Where's the 5 waves? And as far as looking funny, I don't know why a drop to 1928 wouldn't give us an expanded flat. Maybe I don't have an eye for this. It just doesn't look all that funny to me. Well, here's what I think's going on. I think this is the end of the wave. I think we have an ABC for wave A of some degree. Here's ABC with C related to A. I think we're in C here. I don't see any sign it's over. I could be wrong. If we gap up and we never see this price again, then this move doesn't count. I think it's unlikely. Here's the left stilt, the diamond on stilts, and although we have a target right at this low, we had the initial challenge of the origin of the left stilt. The second time you hit it, usually drops in style. We dropped, retested it perfectly, and then started dropping again. I don't see any reason to go as high as this again, which means those MEJT targets from yesterday I don't think are going to print. There could be a bounce tomorrow with the open, But to me, we got what we needed to complete the top. All we have to do is undercut this low, and then in the following day, add to that. I think it's the beginning of a very serious decline here, and it would take a very strong and immediate reversal of today's action to get me to change my mind. And that's today's call.